I'm on the way to the gym for a workout here early on Sunday morning. And you know what that means. You know that means it's a game day morning. It's an Eagles game day morning. Looking forward to the game later. Kickoff a little after 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Eagles are playing the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco Levi Stadium. The Niners are 1-2. And the Eagles, of course, are 3-0 after another thrilling game last week at home against the Redskins. And you saw all the ranges of emotion that I had when I was watching that game. And looking forward to this one. You know, the Niners are 1-2, and they come in the desperate team. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, that's a tough game for the team playing against the desperate team. And a lot of people are kind of, you know, have mixed emotions about this game. Some people think the Eagles are going to win. Some people think the Niners are going to win. A lot of people that say the Niners are going to win say it's because they're the desperate team and they're at home. Well, sometimes, you know, the desperate team, if it's a close game, can play a little tight. And that's why I'm, you know what, and again, I'm kind of bringing my fan card out here, I guess, but that's why I'm going to, you know, give a small nod to my birds today because, you know, I think that there's a chance that they can win this game and go to 4-0. And I think one of the reasons for that is I think it will be a close game. I think it could be a potentially shootout type of game. And I think if the Eagles can keep it close, oh, that sun. I think if the Eagles can keep it close, I think they certainly have a good chance to, you know, to win this game and to improve their record to 4-0 as we go through the season of the fan. And I know the glare is like horrible on this right now. So anyhow, I just pulled into the parking lot here for the gym, so I'm going to go get my workout in, and later I'll be exercising my vocal cords watching. Ooh, that doesn't help. Watching the game, that's better. Watching the game. And yeah, again, I kind of pick, if I were to give a pick for this game, I would give a slight nod to the Eagles to win, maybe on another Cody Parkey field goal, where the Eagles can improve their record to 4-0. And I think, you know, again, it's a dangerous game. The Niners are definitely a desperate team right now. But I do feel the Eagles could win this game, another close one. I think maybe if it's a close game, the Niners play a little tight in the second half. Maybe they turn the ball over a few times. And another thing is the Eagles have had terrific second half so far this season. The Niners haven't. The Niners have been outscored big time in the second half, and the Eagles have been outscoring their opponents big time in the second half. That could be another key. But we'll wait and see. And I will see you from the Tilted Kilt. That will be the next segment here. You'll be seeing me and my friends watching the game from Tilted Kilt, King of Prussia. And stay tuned. Who you got winning the game, Pete?
I got 49ers.
49ers? Take that jersey off. Captain, Jason, who do you got winning the game?
Eagles.
Yeah.
28-14.
All right.
Eagles.
Boo! Everybody boo, Scott. Boo!
Wait, what about this one? You missed the good one.
7-0. Scott, your thoughts?
What?
Your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on what
My
happened?
thought is the game's over.
We are here with Pennsylvania's biggest Colin Kaepernick fan, and your thoughts on the game so far? That's a face mask. The play stands. Yeah. Ah! That's what I like to see. A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Jose, your thoughts? Scott, your thoughts?
Their thought it's over.
Huh?
Kaepernick's garbage.
What?
Kaepernick is garbage.
Oh boy, he's talking against Kaepernick. Oh boy. Uh-oh. 21-10 Eagles in the lead. 2 special teams touchdowns and a defensive score. Late in the first half. Wow. Another Eagles game filled with emotion and back and forth and just, another close one. But this time the Eagles could not pull it out. They go down to the 49ers in San Francisco. The final, I believe, was 26-21. I have to double check. It was like a weird score, so I apologize. I don't quite remember it. I believe it was, because I think if the Eagles would have scored a touchdown at the end, they would have been up by 2. Unless they went for a 2-point conversion, in which case they would have been up by a field goal. But either way, Eagles go down for the first time in the season. But, they're still sitting pretty good at 3-1. It would have been awesome to win that game and to go to 4-0. But, wasn't meant to be. All in all, just my reaction to the game real quick is just, real poor performance by the offense. And I understand, on the road, it's always going to be more tough than at home to, move the ball. The crowd's against you and different stuff. But, the 49ers are without 2 of their best defensive players in Smith and Bowman. And the Eagles couldn't really generate much of anything, particularly on the ground. Their rushing offense has been non-existent all year. And at some point it's going to catch up to them unless they can get it straightened out. I mean, LaShawn McCoy has just done very little. Sproles, the most effective that they've been has been in the passing game. And, McCoy is this, all-pro great running back. And unfortunately for the Eagles, they've had some injuries on the offensive line. It's really hurt them, particularly in this game. The 49ers, as any defense going up against the Eagles right now, they're going to gear up to stop the run and try to make the Eagles one-dimensional. And to this point, the Eagles' offense has still been able to move the ball at least, and particularly in the second half of games. But today, they just couldn't do anything. They couldn't move the ball. Foles was pressured all game. But all that being said, the Eagles still had a chance to win the game. Remarkably, they held the 49ers to a field goal late on the on a drive. Eagles get the ball for the first time in the game. They're moving. They're looking pretty good. They're getting down to the 2-yard line the goal line, San Francisco, and 2-minute warning comes and goes. It's 3rd and goal, and it's on the 2-yard line. Now I understand sometimes you can outthink yourself. And I think that's kind of what happened with Chip Kelly, because their offense started looking like the Andy Reid offense when they got down to the goal line, because, you have an all-pro back, and I understand they're not running the ball too well, but they ran pretty good just that play to get down to the 2, and, it's a passing play. And, the Niners were able to get some pressure on Foles. He kind of threw the ball out of the end zone, and, incomplete. And obviously on 4th down, they're going to pass, more than likely. So they go for it on 4th down. Another incomplete pass. Ball changes hands. 49ers get it. But the Eagles have all 3 timeouts, so they're able to stop the 49ers, get the ball back. But, then a penalty just kept going backwards. And at that point, it would have taken a real miracle to win the game. But disappointing finish. Eagles special teams looked awesome. I mean, they blocked a punt to start the game. They Sproles had a punt return for touchdown. Defensively, they had a pick six. Defensively, I don't think they played all that bad. I think they held the 49ers down. The 49ers got a touchdown. Stevie Johnson in the third. At that point, it was 21-13 Eagles, and then they got the extra points. So that made it 21-20. And the thing that bothered me the most about that possession was there was this, you hear from different fan bases after games and after, like Colts fans were complaining about that Eagles win on Monday Night Football. Well, this didn't cost the Eagles the game, but, the Eagles defense was doing a pretty good job. They sacked Kaepernick, and there was this real phantom holding call against the Eagles defense on that play. There was absolutely no hold. It was called a hold. I don't know what the referees were looking at, but, maybe Harbaugh slipped him some money at the halftime, but, or offered them, to get, some khaki pants or something. But anyhow, the absolute phantom call, and it kept the drive going for the 49ers, and in the end, they get the touchdown to Stevie Johnson, which was a great catch by him in the end zone, but there was no way that was a holding, and that just really kind of turned the momentum. That touchdown really seemed to turn the momentum in the direction for the 49ers. And, the 49ers were the more desperate team, obviously. They came into this game 1-2. If they lost this game, they'd be 1-3, 0-2 at home, and really a tough road ahead of them, playing, at Denver, against the Saints, and, of course, against Seattle twice. They earned the win. Their defense played really well. They shut down the Eagles' rushing attack, and they got a lot of pressure on Foles. The Eagles turned the ball over 3 times on offense. The old saying is, if you lose the turnover battle, you're going to 9 out of 10 times lose the game. And the Eagles turned the ball over 3 times on offense. The 49ers turned it over once. I mean, if you want to count the punt block, that's kind of like 2 turnovers, but I know that doesn't really count in the stats for turnovers. But, sloppy is the best way to put it. A couple of things I noticed about the Eagles is they're still trying to go for these home run passes. And it's all fine, well, and good when you have Deshaun Jackson to get burned down the field and catch it, but they don't have receivers that are lightning quick. I mean, Macklin, I thought, came up with some big catches, and particularly on that second-to-last drive. But he's not a burner. I mean, he's not like a speed receiver like Deshaun Jackson. And then one of the turnovers was an interception on like a home run play to Macklin, and it was a little underthrown. DB made a play, picked it off. But I'm sitting there going, why are you going for the home run ball there? You're up by 1. Get down the field methodically, dink and dunk. Maybe if you want to, throw one of those. But I just didn't think it was the right time for it. And, that was a big turnover there because the momentum was already swinging towards the Niners at that point, and that really swung it. And but to the Eagles' credit, their defense played pretty good. They held the 49ers to some field goals at the end, and it just, it was one of those games. But, you're going to have games like that in the NFL. That's why every game you win, you cherish it even more because it is hard to win games in the NFL. And the Eagles, all that being said, they're 3-1. They're still looking good. They got the Rams coming in next week, and then a big game the following week at home against the Giants, the resurgent Giants, who've won 2 straight. They blew out the Redskins on Thursday Night Football this past Thursday. And, if the Eagles can get those 2 games, they'll be 5-1. They'll be 2-0 in the division, and still looking good. Still looking good going into that bye week. I mean, I'll take 5-1. Going into the season, I did say they'd be 11-5, so obviously they had to have some losses in there. And this was one of them. This was a game that a lot of people picked them to lose before the season. Tough place. Tough to beat the Niners in San Francisco, seemingly always is. But this was a tough one because the Eagles had a chance to win at the end and they couldn't pull it out. But that being said, they played well on defense, I thought, for the most part. Special teams is just awesome. And, let's go get them next week against the Rams. Disappointing loss. I didn't film as much at Tilted Kilt as I thought I would. I apologize about that. The lighting wasn't the greatest. I couldn't even really shoot myself. Film myself, I should say, in there, as well, because the lighting just wasn't that good. They turned the lights down, obviously for the games for better, lighting with the TVs. But, still a great place to go. Great place to, hang out with friends and watch a game. Great place to watch a game. So shout out to the people who, all the staff there at Tilted Kilt and King of Prussia, PA. I took a few pictures. I'll have a few pictures here. Took some video in there. Got my buddy Jose, who's the big Colin Kaepernick fan, and he certainly let me know his feelings towards certain things in the game. But it was a lot of fun. Even though the Eagles lost, it was still a great time. Good time with a lot of friends, good food, and definitely some nice scenery there too. But tough loss. But as the Eagles will have to do, us fans will have to do, we'll talk about it all week. We'll get the emotions out, and then we'll be ready next week against the St. Louis Rams right here. Week 5, season of the fan. The season of the NFL continues, and until that next segment segment for this series, that's going to do it for now. Eagles go down 26-21, I believe was the final against the 49ers, but they're 3-1, still in first place in the NFC East, although I see Dallas is winning right now, which I don't like. Hopefully the Saints can beat them so the Eagles can still be in first place by themselves in the division. But be that as it may, the Eagles are still looking good at 3-1. They got the Rams next week, and hopefully they can rebound and get a big win against the Rams. And until then, this is me signing off for now. So go Birds in week number 5 against the St. Louis Rams. And, week 5, season of the 2014 Philadelphia Eagles will continue. All right, everyone, till the next segment. Go Birds in week 5.